All right, we're on activity 7-7 now. And we're going to be creating a subnet and a site. So we'll open up on DC1, we will open up sites and services. We're running a little slow here tonight, it looks like. Again. All right, so now we're going to go add our subnet to the site. So it's 192.168.0.0. 0 means the network, /24 tells it the scope. So in this case, it's going to be 192.168.0 through 192.168.0.255, with the usable addresses being 192.168.0.1 through 192.168.0.254. All right, and it is this site that's going to be part of that subnet. If we go look in here, we'll see that subnet assigned to it. All right, we're going to rename this here to headquarters. And then now we're going to create a new site. Branch office. All right. All right, so that was it for 7-7. So we'll just move right into 7-8 rather than making a separate video. All right, so they want us to delete the trust between the servers. So let's see here. Still have the trust open here. We'll go into properties of the trust. Come in here. And then we'll remove the trust. We will remove it from both domains. Again, since we're doing it on both domains, we need an administrator account on the other end. So we use New Forest Administrator. Yes, we want to remove it. Remove this. All right, so that's removed. Come in here. Come back on this other server for the other domain. Let's refresh domains and trust since I already had it open. Go to properties. Verify the trusts are gone from there. And now we can move on. All right. Okay, so on server SA1, we're going to remove the domain controller features. So we're going to go to manage from the server manager here. Manage, remove roles and features. This server. We're going to unselect the Active Directory Domain Services one, which will automatically select all of these tools. Choose Remove Features. And now it's going to take a few minutes to do that. Alright, so being it's the only domain controller in this domain, and it's a domain controller, that's giving us an error that we have to demote the domain controller. So we want to click on Demote. All right. So we want to choose last domain controller in the domain once this comes up. All right, that came up. So we're going to choose last domain controller. Next. It's going to remove these roles. Proceed with removal. Next, remove DNS zone. And remove application partitions. We'll need to create a local password since we're moving the domain account. Password 01. Demote. Let that run. Alright, it's gonna reboot here as it finishes the demotion. And removing the roles. Alright, the server's demoted, it's rebooted. Now we gotta log back in with the local admin account. Alright, server's rebooted. We're logged in under a local account since we're not on a domain. Now we need to verify our DNS server settings here. So we're going to network control panel here. Sorry about that. My wife was yelling at the dog, just trying to get some food that was on the counter. Alright, so we're going to go into Ethernet 1 here, or Ethernet 0. Check our IPv4 DNS. We'll set it to the server DC1 IP, which we can verify here in System Manager by looking at the local server, which is .2. Without this step, they won't be able to communicate. We will go ahead and take that out of there too. And the reason that got there is from when we had the DNS server service installed. Alright, so now it should be able to communicate with the proper domain or DNS server. Alright, so now we can Alright, so even though we had told it to remove the domain services, it didn't do it. It just only went to the demotion step. So now we will re-promote it to domain controller in the MCSA 2016.local domain. Got to put in the credentials for it. Can't add a device to a domain without the proper credentials. There we go. Oh, I forgot to change or put the domain in front of the credentials here. Tried to log in with the local account, which wouldn't work. There we go. Give that some time here. Alright, as you can see, went to the next step here. This looks different than it normally would since we changed that site name. And are we going to be changing this here? Looks like it doesn't say. So we will just leave that. We'll put our directory services restore mode password in. Give it a minute here. All right, next. Next. Let's go next on all these options. Let it do its thing. Go to past all the checks, the usual prerequisite warnings, which do not prevent it from installing in our normal install. And now it's going to take a little while. All right, our server has finished rebooting. So we can see it's on the domain now. Let's log in. Taking a little while here. All right, rather than waiting for that to take forever to log in here, we'll just come over here, go verify that we're in the right locations. So we have both domain controllers, both on the headquarters. And from here, we'll move on to activity 7-8.